Welcome back. We're still keeping our focus on this reduction of the cut-off mark for admissions in tertiary institutions from it's now 120 for universities, 100 to polytechnics, and well, he also did talk about this is not just predicated on the cut-off marks. You also have the O-level. So perhaps, if I understand what he's saying, it's not just going to be because you scored 120 you get admission. If you don't meet up with the O-level requirements, you won't get in. So does that then mean that what the standards still won't be that low?
No, the admission into university is two ways. Even if you have your high Jamb scores and you don't have what we call effective pass, many federal universities, you must have credit in English and Maths. Though some universities is only one sitting, but some still combine two results. So you see, if you didn't make it, if you have 4 credits in WAEC, and you have 2 that are missing in NECO, they join it. Combined service, you know. But even if you have effective pass and you don't have high Jamb score or appropriate Jamb score, you will not be admitted.
What's an effective pass if you pass all in one sitting?
No, effective pass is 5 credits including English and Maths. So even if you have 9 papers and English, you had P, or you had credit in English but you had P in Maths. Many universities, especially the federal universities, they will not admit you.
When you say that, can you relate that to what we have now, 120 as the cutoff mark, to an effective cutoff mark?
I have not been able to wrap my head around this 120.
Can you call it effective cutoff mark?
No, it's not. It's not.
How is this going to?
It's embarrassing cutoff mark.
How is this going to impact on the seriousness the students usually have when you talk about Jamb? You know, I have to study real hard and hit that 180. Now, what's going to be?
You have come to meet me as somebody that is crippling. I'm crawling, and somebody is supposed to run and get to a point. Why would you now give me advantage? Because I ran. Let all of us crawl. Even if you're able to run, crawl. That is what this means. 120. You hardly get students scoring below 100. Oftentimes, what you have students scoring is 180 something, 190 something, and 200, 203, and all that.
But when he says this is what stakeholders agreed upon, is this something that you think University of Lagos or schools will sit down and discuss and say, what happened?
No. Okay, maybe when we have Senate meeting. But 120 is not for us, no. Anyway, 120 is minimum. You can put your own
so in other words, nobody's going to compel any university to go
I'm talking
to 120. University of Lagos, that's what you're talking about. All right.
Even when it was 180,
okay,
we never came down to 180.
Let's go back to my boy.
We are talking of quality.
Well, yes, I'm sure that you could hear Professor Sarah there, you know, talking about what she knows, you know, happens at least within her locality, what she accuses Jamb of doing, or even the stakeholders, because you say that this is not a decision that Jamb has taken by itself. It's just a member of, you know, how many thousands of people, you know, who took that decision. Yeah. But it's saying it would seem that she says that first of all, this cutoff mark is embarrassing. It's not an open one. It is embarrassing, and perhaps that's the reason why. Maybe somewhat controversial as well. And she also, well, let's start from there.
Well, let me, before we went on break, I was trying to correct an impression. You see, she made allusion to the fact that I lumped up issues when I say College of Education submitted 3,000 names. It's not only peculiar to a College of Education. Federal University also submits names for regularization. And it would be wrong for Prof to say on a national TV that there is no regularization. It's clear. If you go to our website...
That she is aware of.
Or she is not aware of it. Well, I don't know. But if you go to our website today, you will see provision for late registration. And let me also chip in one thing that we've done with this admission, with this 2017, that we're going to do with this 2017 admission. The 120th thing that everybody is talking about now. First, please, I want Nigerians to understand this thing. We're not saying that when you have candidates that have scored 300, 250, you will leave them and go and admit somebody with 120. No. If you see the submission we are receiving today, that's why Punch could caption VC reject. Not that they've rejected. They've decided that, look, for our institution, we're not going to admit anybody less than 200. And that is acceptable by us. That is what we want to do. University should determine its cut-off point, its admission criteria, so that after a period of time, Nigerians will know each university by its own name. Today we're talking about Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge. There are other universities within those vicinity. We must not force every university to progress, to grow at the same level. You're talking about 120.
Yeah, but when we say we must not force everybody to grow at the same level, shouldn't we have a national minimum? If we say that 120 is a national minimum, isn't that rather low?
Let me make one correction that why we're getting this thing wrong. We're looking at our exam within that confines of pass-failed. That's what somebody could even aggregate the issue of percentage, 30%, 20%. Our exam is not a fail. Nobody fails Jamb.
What do they do?
That is it. You only fail Jamb when you fail to secure admission. It's not a failed pass exam.
What is it?
It's a selection examination. You don't fail a selection examination except when you are not selected. That has been the rule from day one. But over time, people have changed the whole thing to, I have passed Jamb. Even when it was 180, there are candidates that will score 250 and they will not get admission. We have instances, so many cases like that.
Yeah, maybe for other reasons.
And this 122,
in other words, I mean, because we have already said that there are two things that you must have for you to be able to gain admission. You must have your WAEC,
there are candidates that will have their WAEC, there are candidates that will have their O-level and they will have 250 and will still not get admission.
Maybe for the course that they
exactly.
So there are a lot of... Just a moment, for the course that they're looking for, if they decide to change, maybe buy a change of course form, they might be able to get in other schools or for other courses.
What we've done, I was going to say this.
But there ought to be a minimum.
You see,
a minimum.
Exactly. We've said a
where
minimum.
People will say, no, this is not a good score. It can't get you into any school, whether or not you have 5 credits or not.
We are not saying once you have 120, then you must go to every university. But for any institution that for any reason don't have candidate at all, government has approved that institution. Are we saying that institution should follow up?
Perhaps it should.
This same candidate.
You don't think
let me land.
If a school cannot find people to apply to,
let me ask you this question. We are interacting with some candidates in Uganda, and we got talking. Some of them score in the 2016-2015, 130, 150, and they're in Uganda studying. They will come back with those degrees into Nigeria, and the economy will accept them. What are we talking about? Are we? Sorry, let me land.
No, I will let you land. But you know, it's supposed to be a conversation.
Yeah.
You are
because time. No, you don't have time. So we're trying to.
People who scored 130, 150. These scores were not reduced from 180 to 150. They were reduced to 120, 100.
Okay, I interacted with somebody who scored less than 100. I'm telling you, and he's in Uganda studying. He will come back to Nigerian economy and the system will accept him. Nobody will ask, what did you score before going to Uganda or going to Ghana? But because his father could afford it, he had gone out of the country and he will come back with a degree. And the system here will absorb him. And that person left Nigeria because the system could not take him. One thing I want us to understand is that, look, universities are going to take the best. They will take from the top down the bottom. It's not from the bottom up.
Why do we have cut-off mark at all? Since nobody feels Jamb, it shouldn't matter. Why do we have to set a minimum? We should as well open it up.
We set a minimum just because we want it to be a guide. It's a guide.
So you can go lower than that?
No.
You
can't go lower than that.
Why can't
it's a
you go
guide.
lower than
you
that?
can't go lower than that. That's what the law says. You can't go lower than that.
Why can't you go lower than that?
You can't go lower.
Why don't you just open it up? Since nobody passes or fails, then if you even score 20 in your Jamb and the schools are willing to take you, then by all means go in.
No, you can't go lower. Because you see, arriving at these marks, there are a lot of things, there are a lot of thinking, a lot of review, reassessment, and stuff like that for us to arrive at where we are. But what we know, or what we're sure of, is that, look, in the final analysis, university, a reasonable number of universities, 90% of them will not take anybody with less than 180. We've started receiving those quarter points from institution. We've received them. We have over 20 universities now that have submitted. That is not to say that VCs have rejected it. What we're trying to do is that, look, university, go and determine how you want to admit.